Sorry, you waiting for me? Sidetracked. Good evening, everybody. How are you? Oh my goodness, you're all here already. In true form, I said to Rob 5 minutes before going live, I haven't got very good reception, so we have a techie on the side, at a camera shot, who's messing with my laptop. It won't affect what you and I are doing, it's just what I can see on the screen. Remember the other day, I could not shut down Facebook, so there's 5 minutes of still stuff. Shh. Still stuff at the end of it. Right, who's here? Who's Petra? Good evening, good evening. Lynn and Jan. Good evening, Ruth. Good evening, Kate. Why do I need Kate? You know, order maybe. John, podcast buddy. Podcast. You need to contact me. We need to do this. Hope you are well. In the UK, and you're all tucked up in bed maybe in the morning, or is it a bit past that? Good evening, Anne. Oh, thank you, Sharon. Yes, I hope you're all feeling a little bit blue. We've been doing a lot of blue lately, haven't we? But it's a different blue. And I'm going to be hi, Robbie. I'm going to make a real point about that these blues are different to previous blues. And I want to do that because I don't want you to think they're all going to go together and plan a massive quilt with all those Timeless Treasures ones that we had before with the panel. Different blue. Joe, good evening. Denise, how are you? Are you good too? Diane's here. Ruth's here. Blue and blue, and then in some blue. Yeah, there's a lot here. There is a lot here. But I'm a little bit monochromatic at the moment, Catherine, to use the technical term. Oh, yes, Catherine, EF50 cream thread added to your order. See, I'm on the ball tonight. Maybe had a little nana nap this afternoon. Don't tell Rob that. Working on some hand stitching tonight. Well, that's awesome. It would be even better if I put my glasses on. Petra, where have you been all my life? Also known as the last week. Louise, good evening to you. Yvonne's here. Joe's here. Michelle's here. Good morning, Donna in the UK. Lovely to see you. I actually managed to tune in for a bit of Nanny Noo last night with Miss Jane, but only just. I just made it there. Kathy, good evening to you. You know I love dressing a blue set. Hello, Diane. Yolanda, how are you? Good to see you. Oh, hang on. Yolanda's here from Holland. Yolanda, chatting with Margaret Upston today, who is Dutch, and we were talking about rejigging, revamping and re-releasing my Dutch cottage range. So it's very poignant that you are here. So thank you very much for joining us. Pam, Tiki Charlton in the Gerties, Shirley. Jill did some damage this afternoon with a few others. Did you all see the sneaky thing? Hello, Bernadette, Lorraine and Joan, and Michelle Fisher, who was there, and Merle and Gillian, Yvonne, Jenny, Peach and Jackie. Oh, Kate, you're here too from the UK. I recognise your name. Thank you very much for joining us. I was going somewhere with that. Did you see what I did this afternoon? If you have notifications on for Chandler's Cottage, you would have benefited from that for this afternoon. I did a sneaky thing. Steve was horrified. I did a snap sale. I put up a post. I worked out how to put the batter out, which was absolutely hideous because it was bright red and I didn't realise how big it was. And Steve said, have you looked at the website? Yeah? I haven't looked at the website. So I went in and discreetly changed it so that it looked a little bit more tasteful. It was not looking very, very good. But we had a bit of fun. I just did a snap sale. I saw a few things that I thought, yeah, I've got a bit much of that. We might have a little snap sale. So that ran this afternoon. Gillian, hello in WA. Sylvia, you are allowed to be late. It is evening. You may have just finished dinner and you wanted to get the dishes done. Jackie, hi. Busy. I've been busy looking at... There is no brandy in the dry. Absolutely not, or I would not get through the show. Flick, sorry I missed 2 calls from you. I'm really sorry. I will we'll give you a call tomorrow. We'll catch up tomorrow morning. You right there, Rob?
No.
What are you doing? He's negotiating an Ethernet cord past 3 very large rolls of fabric. Okay, well, first thing I want to do is just share with you. Ruthie, hello in WA. Hello, Kathy. Hello, ladies from James. Terry, good to see you. Show and tell, actually, Ruth, from WA. And so I didn't even tell my sister-in-law, Rob's sister, I was going to do this. But in true form, Miss Wendy, my sister Miss Wendy, is downsizing. Well, it's not just downsizing, is she? They had a tragedy with a storm that brought lots and lots of water in all over their... Okay, leave it, you're distracting me. All over their beautiful parquetry floor and their beautiful wooden display cabinets that run from floor to ceiling. And they have literally had to go away.
I'm not in the shop.
No, but stop with the fabric and the plastic. They have had to pack up their whole house, pretty much, the whole lower floor, and move out. And in doing so, she decided to impart on me some of her precious things. Some of them are Rob's mum's beautiful china painting, because Rob's mum is the most amazing china painter, and she used to teach and all that sort of stuff. Just beautiful, and I love having it in the house. No, James, not at all. You're most welcome to be here. Absolutely. So she's packing it all up and she's sending it over to me, and I was really, really excited. I think I might have mentioned it before. She used to do waste canvas beading to the extreme, and so I scored. I may have shown you a little bit of it before when we've had a blue set. I have two of her small pieces here that Rob's mum gave me, but Wendy sent me some of hers, and I want to show you because we have little bits of waste canvas on the website, but I've just bought a whole roll because I have plans. Good evening, Patricia. Terry. Oh, Sally's here too, and Pauline Boyke. And Pauline Parker. Alright. Oh, did you like my flowers? I had these out. What was that look for? What was that?
I'm walking away.
Well, he's backing away. He's backing away from my laptop. You didn't even make it on the screen, Rob. That is exceptionally well done. First of all, flowers from the garden. Quilters Life girls saw those yesterday. Did a little demo for them with a very plain tragic set. So I went and grabbed these out of the guest bathroom because I picked them because Mum and Dad were coming down. So put those over there. In fact, there's a little bug in there somewhere because there's little messages being left on my counter. Put them there for a moment. Then look at this. You see that? So look. Have any of you done this? It always fascinated me. I kind of get this. I don't know if you can see that one that well. Let's try the blue and red one. It's a little bit better. They're beautiful. I understood and I got how the waste canvas worked, and in fact, Philip's, good heavens, Philip's first birthday party invitations were the #1 in metallic gold thread done with waste canvas on blue velvet, as instructed by Wendy. I can't believe I did that now. But he is 24, it's a long time ago. But this is what really got me, was her fringes. I've only got my head turned so I can see. Isn't that incredible? Dangle dangles. So, such a clever lady. It's really cool scoring a crafty sister-in-law. And a patchworker. And a teddy bear maker. So they are just gorgeous. So I am very, very excited to have these now in my little crafty private collection. And they will be treasured for forever. And the plan is, of course, I've always still got to have that plan. If we do eventually get our patchwork tea room, look at that, amazing. Patchwork tea room one day. I've got display cabinets, you know, planned, so I can have little rotating displays of things, including Wendy's work and Rob's mum's work, and it's just beautiful. My mum doesn't craft, as you know. She'll be in the kitchen doing the cakes. She'll be with me in the kitchen. Right. Now, are you all good? Are you all settled in for the evening? Nancy, hello to you. I know, netted fringing, it is quite amazing. I wonder if she's still got, oh, well, hey, Jenny Peach, mutual admirer, I'm sure, with your beading that you do. I wonder if she's still got books or anything. Anyway, we've got, this is why I bought these, because these are on the website. These are little waste canvas packs. They're little squares, so I thought I'd get these first in case we all wanted to have a go. But now I've worked out what we're doing. I've just bought a big roll. I'll show you this. Look. So this is pretty much what you start with, but it's not like normal tapestry or cross stitch canvas. It's actually sort of temporary glued together. So when you lay it over your velvet and you stitch out your design, and then I remember doing it, then you wet it. And you use your tweezers and you pull all of the canvas out, and that leaves you with your design. But Wendy did that. Miss Wendy did that to the extreme. I know it doesn't really go with what we usually do, but this is the year of discovery. And I may or may not have, yes she is Kathy, and I will tell her that again when I speak to her. I may or may not have French linen toile that's just arrived in Melbourne that I ordered way back in May, that's been specially made for me in France, and the canvas with the stitchery with other stuff is all kind of one little master plan that's going on at the moment. Where should we put these? Put these over here. They do kind of go with the set. Maybe we'll leave the blue one up. Hey Miss Jin Jin. Oh no, it's all going to fall, Jen. Oh, thanks, Buddy Boo, for that. You right? Yeah, well, the girls can't see you. You're like a ghost. Alright, so, with the blue set this evening, Jenny, yes, she is. Jeanette's still sewing gum nuts. You're funny. Yes, she is a good cook. She's an amazing cook, Jenny. And the pressure wasn't on when they came for dinner last night, but I actually cooked one of Mum's cakes and I didn't have the right tin. I will explain I'm doing a little craft and cook on the weekend. Don't all die of shock, and I'm going to put the recipe up on The Quilter's Life. So didn't have the right tin, did it in a different tin, worked out better. So it's on. Rob's going to help Steve with finishing up one apartment, moving to another on Saturday. So I've got the whole day to sew an applique sampler and doing craft and cook, which will be lovely. Right, Jill Cross is in the building too. Now, everyone's here. I better get on with it. Excuse me. You may go out that window, but don't think it's going to be a regular occurrence. Capiche? Puss? This evening's fabrics are all gorgeous, and they are all, hang on, they're all on this side, they're all timeless treasures. So this is a new range that's come in that's called Fleur. Blue is obviously back with a vengeance at the moment, and I do remember back, Jenny Peach, Stitching Post, Seaview, when I first started, there were so many beautiful blues and with metallic gold around. And they sort of stuck around for a while. Peggy Toole did a beautiful Florentine range for Robert Kaufman, maybe 2 or 3 of them, I can't remember now. Even the Orientals were coming through with beautiful blues and golds at one stage. Then everything changes, there's different trends. So when this set of blues came out, there were back with gold, not with silver. There were 3 or 4 around at the time. So you will see other beautiful ones that are coming through. Hello Lisa from wet and windy Alice Springs. Never thought I'd say that. You will see lots of others come through. You might see them on the internet and stuff. They're coming in other stores around Australia at the moment. I went with the Timeless Treasures one. I think because I was in that whole small I was thinking small scale stuff. There are the big kaleidoscope ones around and things at the moment. I've got some coming a little bit later on. But I loved the idea of this, and I started thinking about how we could use them perhaps with perhaps with some of our liberties, perhaps with a few other little small prints. So I really, really wanted to get this range, which is quite different to what I usually do. So I'll show you these up close. Now I've been a good girl. I have tagged everything as best that I can. So what is it now? It's hot. It's hot and green in Alice. Sue Morris, were you here the other day? Did you watch? You won our lucky door prize from last week. It's going to hurl its way towards you tomorrow. Isn't that nice? Oh, you all know each other. Oh, I do love that. Oh, Lorraine, what? Used to do the waist canvas on your wind cheaters. Yeah, nice linen shirt too. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I'll give you a little close-up on these as best I can. Steve put together a really lovely fat eighth pack, and I mean that sincerely. Steve did, because he did this while we were away. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful little swirls. Look at that with a splash of off-white through it. So the first thing is, when you go to your stash right now while watching and go, oh my goodness, have I got anything that goes with it? First thing I do want you to remember is that it is metallic gold. If you're not worried about mixing up your metallic colours, then you could mix this up with some Applique and with your Robert Kaufman Blue Fusions. They will go, but we just have to remember that you're going to have silver and metallic together. It doesn't bother some people. That's the big one that I've got set up as the backdrop on the step. That's just gorgeous. So that is, let me measure it for you so you've got an idea of scale. Those flowers there, so you can see, that's about 2.5 for the big flowers. So that's as big as it gets. Then I just want a shirt out of that, quite frankly. Beautiful little flower buds. Then you've got more of an open vine one. It's sort of starting to get down towards that sort of, it's that cross between a floral. Oh, it's heading towards a paisley, and I'm going to say what, but my paisleys, you know, where you get a leaf and then you put little flowers in within the leaf. So there's that one, and this thing's drop dead gorgeous. Look at that. That's going to give you a beautiful thing to play with for directional. I'm going to play with a little bit of that tonight. So that's the set of 8 fat 8s. So if you just need to have that in your life, as Natasha would say, that is a lovely little pack. Now, so what I was saying about blues that go with it, this is what I want you just to remember. I'm not saying you can't use them with others, but just be careful. So if I do this, I'll put the overhead on. If I do this, I always put that overhead on and I go, oh, have I checked what's on the table? If I do this like that, and then I put some Applique up against it, they are beautiful together. Just gorgeous. So the only thing is, this has got silver and that's got gold. If that doesn't bother you, you are set to put them all together. And I tell you what, it's not that far off. Because this gold in here is very, very fine, it's not heavy. That is much better than I thought it was going to be. There you go. So I'm going to leave those there, and then I want to pull down for you. Oh, you know how I was talking about Peggy Tools? See, that was Peggy. Oh, the late beautiful Peggy. She was such an inspiration for me. Right, now, things that go with these. I had a little bit of a Fossick, and that's not one of them. That's not one of them. This is one of them. I actually went across to the Liberty shelf and went, ooh. So it's that sky mid blue, particularly this one. Jen. Good evening, Karen. That's fine that you're late. Okay, so that goes really well. And then if you want super contrast, you can go down to the dark one. the dark side. So both those Liberties have been checked. They're great with it. So you can see it goes right down to that dark blue, and this blue in here. I think that blue in there. They work really well. All right, so I wanted you to know that they are super duper with it. Now, because you've got this little bit of white up here, when you do go looking for a really pale contrast, this is one of the Northcote shimmers called Porcelain, and it is fantastic with it because you've got the gold speckle. It's not stark white, and either are these little flowers in here. So it's going to give you a beautiful contrast background. I'm going to do a little thing for you tonight that you can see over here that I'm going to do on an off-white solid. But if you wanted metallic to go with these, this would work really well. When it came to gold, because I wanted to find you a gold as well. Hello, Pat. How are you this morning in the UK? Right, sorry, I'm just juggling, I'm just wrestling. If you wanted the gold, it's not going to be fairy frost. You need to bring it down into one of these real, for want of a better word, yellow golds. So that is much better. Just trying to, I want you to see probably this one and this one, what I mean. Sometimes you want gold with it, but I don't want you, we're not going to put fairy frost with it. I forbid it. It's not right. You need to come to this. I'm pretty sure this has all happened before, and it was probably with Peggy's. It would have been with Peg's, yeah. We would have done this with Peg's. See, over there, she's got a little bit more gold going on, but this is a sort of gold. So this is Regent Fusions. There's also a cream in Robert Kaufman Fusions, 6644. So I've tagged this one, but there is one that's slightly paler as well. But that's kind of where you want to go. Definitely. You can tell I've had fun. I have had fun with those. All right, so I'm going to pop that back up. So we do not have room to have all these out at the same time as everything else. And I never put it back as neatly as I took it down. Put that back there. So I'm going to have to play with some of these in a minute. The other blue that's on the stand is this one. And this is different again. This was a one-off that came in. I probably only wanted the one-off. I do pick and choose sometimes. I'm going to picky choosy. Look at that. It's pretty nice. Beautiful big print. This is a Hoffman, and I was very, very excited to see this come through from Hoffman. Remember we had that gorgeous range with little tulips and the other flowers and things late last year. They have got their act back together. They are back making in Japan, and the fabric is back where Hoffman used to make fabric, because I am, I'm a bit of a metallic snob, back where it was probably 10 years ago, and I'm really, it makes me very, very happy on the inside. And probably because I had quite a personal chat with a couple of the older Hoffman boys when I was in Houston last time. Per chance, just happened. So this one, look at all the shades, down to this really, really dark, brilliant blue, right through to a super pale one. And these are the lines that are in here. They're just off-white. So you can get away with putting it with off-white and gold, including that shimmer I showed you. You can put it, if you needed something pale, you see how that pulls up the lightness in it, but you can also go the other way to the dark side. I found two fabrics that I particularly thought worked well, and I want to always do this for you now because we're not out shopping, or you're in Alice Springs. That's a little bit of a geographical challenge in itself, Lise. So the best one I found was an ombre. I've managed to lose you all again. I keep doing this. There we go. Can you see that? Look at that. I'll put it on the overhead for you. So this is Gelato NB, and that is a lovely, lovely combo. It's so cool, isn't it, when you can take two different companies that have designed fabric, you know, in different years, and then they just come together. So I think that's lovely. I would, if it was a bag, you'd be doing this. You would be quilting metallic gold over the top. I've picked out threads for you just as well, so you know which ones if you're looking for them. Everyone seems to ask me afterwards, which threads do I pick, so I'm trying to preempt that just a little bit. Gorgeous. Then I popped on special for you tonight because I was looking for, sort of go, okay, well now we need a lining. If that's my bag, what's my lining? Oh, it's a bit crinkly. Sorry, folks. Should have given that an iron. And I thought that was pretty good. So that's got a nice big reduction on it. You'll see on the website as well tonight for you. What did you say, Jane? The darks look great in contrast. Yes, it does. Oh, Melissa, that's very flexible of you. Your iPad froze. I hate that when that happens. I'm very happy though with my with my new iPad cover. That you notice what I do now? I get Em to demo something in the show that I may just happen to want made for me. So I've got my new Flash iPad cover as well. Oh, which reminds me, Steve, you nearly killed me. Hey Steve, I said, we're combining Tuesday and Thursday orders for the girls. Not, no. Oh, okay, it was like that. So please remember, I have held your orders from Tuesday. I have to apologise to Therese and a couple of others because I realised a couple of those orders were actually from before Tuesday, and you may have actually wanted them sooner. Sorry. There's any from Monday, they'll go out express, I promise. I'll upgrade them. But we did keep, I've got all the orders here. I've started prepping them all out the back, and then I will marry up any multiples, and where there is a savings for you, it will get put as a credit back on your account for next time. So yes, I have got those together. Now, if you wanted to go back and look at Tuesdays, what I was going to say, I've taken, the banner now only refers to tonight's specials, but if you put in the code in the search window at the top, show 24, we're on show 25 tonight, show 24, just capital letters, no space, show 24. It will bring up all of the beautiful Figos and all the things that we had Tuesday, and you can still order those tonight. And Steve is not out with Phil tonight at the comedy gig, so he'll be at work at 10 in the morning. So if you do want your orders combined, we are under strict instructions, folks. Combined orders at 10 o'clock when he gets here. All right, so if you want anything from tonight, or you want it combined, do it tonight, because 10 o'clock, he shows no mercy, that child. Gee, I wonder whose child he is. So please, in by 10 in the morning. Oh, did you see this? I couldn't help it. Couldn't help. This is one of thousands I made during high school and uni that bought my first car, paid for my uni books, or my train fare in between waitressing, and I used to sit and do those on the train from Lilydale to Central to go to RMIT. I used to cut them out, turn them out. That's my mouse, and he happens to match tonight's set. I don't know why he's in such good nick. Someone else must have looked after him and given him back to me. Because we've got the blue set tonight, I have popped up on special as well our blue trivets, and they actually look really, really nice with that fabric. Not, you can be the judge because it's got two different colours. Yeah, it's pretty good actually. That's pretty good. But this blue, that's really good. Oh, also Summer Palace, obviously, because that's what the print is, but that looks really nice with that because it's got the big peonies, and I've got peonies on these. So you can see, can't you, that there is a big difference in these particular blues. Yes, so this is not really going to work with these. If you had 100 different blues, yes, but just together, this is sort of heading more, a little bit more indigo-y blue, and where these are your true China blue. So, Joe, who's late? Cheryl's late. Oh, Cheryl, you guys are so funny. You can just slip in, you know. If you just slipped in, I wouldn't notice. I wouldn't. But when you declare I'm late for class, you get in trouble. I put this up tonight as well, just to hold myself accountable again. That yes, I'm still working on the zip pattern, a zipped purse pattern, so you can design your own. And this would be beautiful. Why are there pins here? I was going to do a quick demo on pinning a quilt tonight, and when I brought it in, it's as big as the table. It just wasn't feasible, but I will come back and do that. So they're tagged, but I can't. Haven't got room. I found 2 zip colours that work really well. So again, I've tagged these. And this again is just so that you know when you're looking that I've been through. This one here, that blue, is again more in line to go here. Okay, so you can see that that's heading towards that slaty indigo blue. But you could I'm more inclined to go dark. I would love these with our dark denim shirting and that zip. That'd be me. I'd have to have that. Or actually that zip. Yeah. It all goes. It all goes. Just not enough time in the day, is there? I've got to get started on Morwell, which is next weekend. To say that I'm out of practice in doing a live show, not a live show, a real face-to-face is an understatement. Absolute understatement. I think the last one's probably Houston or Birmingham. Would that be right? Oh, do we count our Australian textile exhibitions in the warehouse last year? Hello, Helen. Sorry, I have to read this. Sharon Key said, I did rolled hems on silk scarves and clown dolls to buy my first car. Heavens. I did, garters and horseshoes for one of the shops up at Sassafras in the Dandenongs. Spice ropes. Age, girls, age. All right. If you're hand sewing with these threads, you're hand sewing with these fabrics, I had a quick little hunt for you. We've got 2 beautiful Afina colours that will go well. So that is more of a blue grey. It's going to go with, it'll work fine with these fabrics, but then it's going to allow you to use it for lots of other shades of blue as well. So, and denims and things. So I thought that one was worth mentioning. This is a beautiful thing. This is number 56 in the Afina. So these are a lighter weight thread, and they are what I use for hand applique and hand piecing. Just gorgeous. So that, yes, number 56. And you can see that that's going to work into the darker blues really, really nicely. So there's both of those. And I haven't tagged it for tonight, but I was just mentioning before with Catherine, their EF50 is the perfect off-white. So if you do need an off-white universal thread for lots and lots of piecing, it's a 50. Now, if you're going to get fancy schmancy with your blues, I did this as well. I went and had a look at the metallics, and I've tagged these. So, you know I love a metallic, and if you use your superior thread needles and all the little things we talk about, vertical spool, all of that, you're going to have a wonderful time with it. That is just beautiful with it. So that is the soft gold metallic Metler thread. It's a 40 weight, and you would make your life perfect if you pop in bottom line in your bobbin. So this is the superfine poly that is going to work beautifully, particularly with non-natural threads. So I always use this with embroidery threads and metallics. and then I just don't have a problem. All right, so there's those. And we do actually have a Divine dark blue metallic as well. So I pulled that one. That just, oh, beautiful. And that's best colour is number 636. So that's tagged in tonight's treasures as well. You can get away a lot with just having a neutral grey or a cream, pretty much for all pale colours, if you're working onto a pale background. When you start getting into perhaps using a dark contrast background, then that's where it becomes more important to have a complementary coloured thread to go underneath. You knew that, didn't you? Telling you how to suck eggs. Right, pop these back up here. See, I bought in the China ware. Oh, look. We need to make some doves, so we're going to get stuck in now. But I was out in our Happy section, and I walked past the coin purses. We had the trinket on special in the flash sale this afternoon, but I've also just popped the coin, which is slightly bigger, on special. They come in a little pack, if you haven't seen them, with instructions on how to make it up with a template and things, so you don't need anything else. But again, because these have such that super fine soft gold, all of our antique gold frames that we have, from the big bag ones down to these little purse ones, all work really well with these fabrics. So I suppose what I'm saying, how lovely would it be to have just a whole heap of beautiful little blue purses made up for presents or in things. So I'll pop that back in there. I think it's still tagged. I didn't change it. How good would, is it in here? How good would our Melba dishes look? I'm sure I had one around here somewhere. Oh, I don't know what I've done with it now. You know what I mean, those Melba Christmas dishes in the blues. Yeah, I think they are still tagged. I'm worried now because it's supposed to be here somewhere ready for me to pin a quilt. Oh, here it is. I got it. Because it's got my safety pins in it. That would be lovely. Just lovely. Oh, hang on. It's all gone on now. Sounds so crafty. I did hay carting, Lorraine, and dog caring for my first cut. I was carting hay as well, Lorraine, but Dad didn't pay me for it. I got paid for picking lemons, though. We had a lemon orchard in Hillsville. I got paid for picking lemons. Sylvia trained horses. Heavens, you're all so talented. Yeah, Flick and Flick, you win. 3 years in the army. Yes, yes, and yes. You had to win that one, mate. Absolutely. I'll pay that. We all did. I loved waitressing. I was addicted to waitressing. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Did a lot of that as well. What am I doing with this? Did a lot of that as well. Okay. All that back there. We've done all of this. So, I've got my tea cozy in here tonight. And it's up. Please, if you do remember, please don't remember that I started one last year I haven't finished in a demo. Don't do that. Please do remember, but it is a free download on our website. So you might like to make one for Easter, because you know I'm big on the Easter thing this year. So I'm going to do one with my little love dove pattern, and I'm not into commercial Valentines, but it is the romantic week of the year, so I thought it was the perfect time to do our doves in love. Just pop that back up there for a minute, and I have set them up so they are the perfect size to pop on for me onto the tea cozy, but you may not want to do that. You may want to use it for whatever you like. I will show you the pattern. This was from the original Applique sampler, so it's not in the one that the girls doing the club are doing at the moment, because they've got a big fat ruched Waratah in its place because we've made it, it's Aussie this time round. But this is from the original one. It was much bigger on the quilt, but this is our cute little Doves in Love that we're going to use. I know that's not what I usually do, but I thought with the blues it would be rather cute. So you'll see down the bottom it's got Chandler's Cottage on it, and it's got a Quilter's Life. What's going to happen is I'm going to, for everyone that orders something from this evening, I'm going to send you a fat eighth of this beautiful solid Colourworks Off-White for you to do your doves on. So you're going to get this, and you're going to get that little sheet with the pattern on it as a gift from me. So if you order this evening up until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, you'll get a fat eighth of this lovely white that you'll be able to use your doves any way you like. So I'm going to do mine with a little bit of applique in these blues. You can use it for a stitchery. Those pink and orange Liberties, that little fat eighth pack, like the little purse that we first did, would look gorgeous. That's also a little fat eighth pack of 3 in those pretty blue and yellows. That would look gorgeous, and that will also work with the white. So that's these two will get packed up in a little bag. I've actually got a few of them out there ready to go, and they will go in for orders from tonight. So you've got a lot going on this week. You've got, if you're in Quilter's Life, you're a 10% discount off everything on top of any specials that we've got, and you've got that until the 28th. You also, from Tuesday through to 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, go in the draw to win this pack of fabric, which Sue won last week's, Ruth won the first lot, and you get 1/2 metre of Fairy Frost, 1/2 metre of shimmer, and the once in a lifetime, never to be repeated strike off that is not going ahead of Melba with the rose metallic gold on it. So that's what's up for grabs at the moment. It's just one piece, but it's a special piece because it's not happening. I did place the order today. We're doing black, but the pink with silver, and a silver grey small floral, and reprinting others. So it's always scary when you place an order. Oh, I'll just have 2,500 meters. Thank you. That would be great. Catherine said she was working full-time at the bank and doing Year 12 at the same time when I got my first car, which was a Holden two-door Tirana. Girl after my own heart. I did not. I had a Toyota Corolla liftback two-door with the long ones. God, I thought I was so good. It was a good little car, actually. It's probably a club car now. That's how old it was. Right, so that's the door price. So you've got all that going on. So there's lots and lots of specials and things, plus this little pack tonight for you. Just we're not allowed to upset Steve at 10 o'clock for combined orders tomorrow. So I'm going to put the overhead on so I can compose myself and you can't see me going, what on earth was I doing? Okay. I just wanted to run through with this little pattern a few little tips and tricks, and let's just see how it comes up. Oh, Kate, yes, Natasha, as per usual, if she air freights it direct from Japan, we'll have it before me. She won't just have it, she'll have it before me. And yep, she will, Kate. And Natasha also has her deadline date. She has to confirm how much, not if, but how much she would like. What am I doing to you? Okay, this is the template for the tea cozy. It was a really interesting thing to design because you had to get the shape right with this curve so that when it sits over your teapot, it actually sits flat on the table. That took a little bit of trial and error for sure. Good evening, Anne. A little bit of trial and error. So this is the actual template. It's set up. It's called Summer Palace because that's what we did in with that fabric. And if you remember, we had a little play last year putting a little pocket on the side. And no, I have not finished it. Let's not go there. It's in there to finish next door. Now, I want my doves, which are a complete mirror image, to sit right in the middle of my tea cozy. And I just want to show you, if I fold this, Miss Cassandra set this up beautifully for me today. if I fold that in half, it's quite nice because I can see exactly where it starts and finishes, so I can sort of position it so I've got the same amount of gap at the top and at the bottom. At the top and at the bottom, Lisa, round that way. And of course you can add more if you want to, but I just think this is going to look nice. Now I'm going to have my white panel with my birds on in the middle, but then when I get out to the rest of this side of the tea cozy, I'm going to come through and I'm going to cut strips from these blues to have down this side, and then on the other side of my tea cozy, when I flip it over, I'm just going to have these, because look, see, height wise they're pretty good. I'm going to just have an arrangement of stripes like we did with the purse on the back. So I think that's I could do anything, couldn't I? I hadn't thought about it. I could keep going. I could put a pocket on the back and just have this part on the pocket. You can mess with it. Mess with it however you want. So in that whole thing about, here's one I prepared earlier, I have done a little bit of prep tonight, which is most unusual for me. Whoop whoop. Yeah, she's a bit like that. Kate, I'll tell her you said that. Oh, I'm drinking a lot of the dry. We had a little bit of a garden feast this evening. I'm in full foodie mode because the veggie patch has gone from nothing to abundant. So I have, there were stuffed zucchinis and bruschetta, and I pulled out the dried Cyprian olives that I've only just discovered, which are now an essential part of my life. I may have had one too many. I'm a bit thirsty. Okay, I've cut myself a piece from my strip, my fat 8. I'll turn that off for a minute. And I have just defined the middle. I've just folded it in half. What Cass has done for me today, which is great, is she's done the complete mirror image of this pattern. If you though get the pattern, which is what happened with this one while we were still designing it, and you've only got half, it's very tempting, and I did it, to fold your piece of paper in half and feel really smart, and to flip it to the other side and trace off what you can see through from underneath. Now I did that today. I could not believe how far off I still ended up. These little leaves and things were still a little bit askew and my heart's not sitting in the right place. I could not believe it. So my message to you is, even when you do have a pattern like this, mark your line down the middle, and then perhaps if you can also mark it with a Frixion pen, because once you turn your light box on, that line starts to disappear. You can't see it quite that well. Okay, Frixion out here. So you can see it when it's off, but you can't see it when it's on. So I'm actually going to draw a line down there, so I can clearly see where the middle is. It may not be that important depending on what you're doing, if you're making it up as you go, but then again it may be. Alright, I'm going to sit that on there. I would usually tape that down, to be honest. Line up my half and draw that on. Now, I don't really need all of it, do I? I only need just little markers of where the pieces are going to sit, because my pieces are all going to be cut out ready to adhere on. I do need though my embroidery lines if I'm going to use them. So for the wing I only need the little tip down here. There's no point in drawing all of that on because it's going to sit over the top of the bird body. I'll just pop in the little bit. You can see there's that little bit there that's going to stick up, so it's easy for me to position the wing. Then I'm going to put in the end of his little tail out there, and maybe just a little bit of his chest. And then with these little leaves, again, I just need points and a tip. I need my vine. I need the base point of the heart and the V of the heart. I need the base of that heart, the V in that one. I need my stem, base, top, base, stem. That's all I need. No, I don't even need that. Maybe a little bit of his head. I don't think we're going to need it. Just so I've got the position. Then what I would do is I would actually open it up. This side here, remember girls, that was what I drew on, and it was not. It was just not good. I was going to be so smart. What I do then is flip it, and because I'm on the light box, I can still see the bird through for the other side, and I'm working with exactly the same drawing. That's one of the things that tends to happen, a little bit like Chinese whispers. Every time you copy, you end up with just a little bit more variation. So if you can always work with the original pattern in reverse, you're going to get a much better finish. Of course, when you come to actually stick down your pieces, I know a lot of you are going to say, Lisa, this is basic stuff tonight, but you know, we every now and then it's nice to go back and do something like this. And this is a big, I'll be honest, this is a big trip down memory lane for me. Not quite back to the two-door lift back Toyota, but just a little bit back. Okay, there's the base, there's the V, there we go. Of course, it saves time too, doesn't it, if you're not drawing on the whole shebang. Right, if I turn that light off, and I'll hold that up there, for you, you can just see just all those little marks, and that's all I will need. Now my girl's doing their applique samplers at the moment with your waratah leaves and your petals that are flat. Exactly the same thing. You don't need to draw them all on. You just need tips and positioning for them. Save yourself time, effort, all of that. All right, we're not going to need that light box again. I'll show you what I did. I got my soft steamer seam out, and I actually went through and traced all of my pieces, all my different body pieces and my leaves and everything. So that's been done. It was kind of really nice because it's mirror image. I had two bodies I could put close together, three hearts close together, and my leaves. So it's going to be quite an economical way for you to use any bits and pieces you've got of soft and stable or Lisa-Fix that are left over. So I'll just pop my light box down. If you need a really good slimline light box, Trevor the Scissor Man, Trev's the man. He has all those daylights and everything, and those slimline ones. So look him up. He's great. Rosemary, don't get yourself confused. Oh, Yvonne, haven't you? Oh, well, that's wonderful. Good evening, Auntie Ruth. Oh, Nancy's off to bed. She's gone. She said good night, though. At least she said good night. That's very nice of her to say that. Fiona hasn't said anything, so she must be at work on night shift. All right. So this one that I did the faux pas mirror image is going in the bin because that's just going to confuse everything. We need an ironing board because we're going to be sticking. We need an iron. Dry iron will be fine. Oh, hot iron will be fine. That's already on. And okay, let's have a look at these bits. So body pieces, we can cut out, make sure you use your paper scissors. so I can cut out sections. I made sure that I grouped my bird bodies together. So that's them. Because of how much I do as my business, I don't keep all these little pieces. I just would have so many, and I'm sure you can appreciate sometimes I just need to clear the deck. But if you have a little box and you need to keep it flat, not in a bag or anything, a little tin or a little box away from the sun, away from the heater, keep all your little bits of seam, won't you? Just keep them all flat in a little spot. Sometimes you just need a smidge, just a little bit left over, or a couple of little leaves to go with a flower, or anything like that. And do you remember the cushion that we did on Tuesday, and I was using the little squares of double-sided tape? You could equally do that with little scrap pieces of Flies-A-Fix or steamer seam as well. Still haven't sewed up the base of that cushion, so I must do that. And I'll have its two friends next week for you. Very busy few days, girls. Very busy. When I ask for volunteers, you know things have got really rough, yeah? I've done it before. I have done it before. All right. Oh, no, Fiona's here. Just watching. Plus, I don't want to be annoying like... So, well, at least I thought of you. Thank goodness I did. Judith is here from Yarram this evening. Got your message. Waratah, welcome, Jude. You know, the long-awaited kit for you. Emma just looked at me. She just looked at me and she said, you realise if we do a kit for Judith, we're going to have to make one ourselves. So we'll be going back there as well this year by the look of it, Jude. All right. So my two little birds, even though they're going to go on the same fabric, I've just chopped them in half because I might sort of want to decide where I want to put them on my print. The lovely thing, if you're wondering about steamer seam versus Flies-A-Fix, the lovely thing about steamer seam is it's sticky. When you've adhered it to one side and you peel the paper off, it's a little bit sticky, so you can use it to position things like an old-fashioned felt pictures we used to do as kids. So that's one benefit to it. So I'm just checking where the applique mat is in case I need it. So we have to pick fabrics now for our bits. So I'm thinking, well, okay, I know I want to use this for my wings because it is directional and it's feathery. So if that is the case as well, when did we do this? Oh, that's right, the Girls and I Club butterflies yesterday. Just chop that just a little bit more off. See, I could save bits like that. Yes, more wool next week, Fiona. Heavens. Okay, so if this is sort of me having a look from the front, that's the middle of the body and it's going to go down that way. Do we think it's going to work? The wings sort of got a little bit of a flow to it, hasn't it? Whereas these are straight. So maybe this would be better. Yeah, for our leaves. It's going to be better for our leaves. Let's pop this one aside. All right, decision time. I think this is going to be my doves, and to get a good contrast, I'm going to put this one over the top, this one. It's too hard. I laugh at Natasha when she does this live. I'm being really rude now, I know, but I laugh when she does it. No, definitely not that. That's not happening. I think birds in this and wings in this, or vice versa. Or birds, because I want it pale enough that I can do this little eye. If I do this, I'm going to lose any opportunity to make a little eye pop on this. Okay, so this is my doves. If I was going to scale this up, which you can do, you can pop this on a photocopier and enlarge it, make it bigger on a scanner, whatever you want to do. Girls that get it in a Quilter's Life, you'll have it as a PDF, so you'll be able to mess around with it as much as you want. So, as well, before you even print it. So you can make it bigger. The bigger you go, of course, the bigger the pattern is that you can use. If I doubled the size of these doves, then all of a sudden this fabric would be suitable to use for my birds. So it's just, I'm going to use this on the back. It's all about the scale. So this size is really good for these little birdies at this size. If you do redwork stitchery, I'd love to see what you do with this, because I think these would stitch out very nicely in chain or backstitch. Okay, so just being nice and frugal and not using too much. Before I even take it to the iron, see how that's stuck down like a piece of sticky tape before we've even adhered it. So it's just really good stuff to use. I'll pop that over on my ironing board and hit it. And because it is a symmetrical design, it's going to be worth putting your glasses on and just taking your time with a smaller pair of scissors to cut them out. You really want these guys to be a nice, accurate mirror image of each other. So these ones I'm setting up so that I can blanket stitch them on, and that soft gold metallic is singing to me. And you know, we talked about soft gold metallic, we touched on it on Tuesday when we were talking about the Figo fabrics, and that I think when I do my orange peel blocks with my roundup ruler, that I'm actually going to do them with metallic gold blanket stitch, just to be really out there. If you would like to go a little bit more traditional, then of course you could needle turn them on, but I would suggest that you pre-shape them on freezer paper, or even better still on polyfuse, which you can leave in, just so you get them super accurate. And that's probably the only, you know, short of many years of needle turn experience, that's going to be the best, quickest and most accurate way to get that perfect mirror image. The other thing is, of course, you could still cut them out like this, so you've got raw edges, so you can see them, but it doesn't have to be blanket stitch. You could actually chain stitch, you know, so your chain stitch is right in the center, and that would give you a real folk arty country look, combined with these gorgeous metallic fabrics. And I think you'd get a really nice unique look if you did. I'm going to do that. I've talked myself into it. I'm trying to talk you into it, and I've talked myself into it. Now let's go back and have a look again. See it sticky, so it's a really good stuff to use. There's the tip. I always use this as a guide. There's my tail tip, and there is my beak, and there's my little tum-tum down there. So he's going to go there like that, and then his mate on the other side. Sometimes you just got to do just a little bit of a twist, and then it will tear the paper on the adhesive on the back, and it makes it easier to get off. There's my beak. Isn't If I ever put it on and it's out a little bit, I go, oh, it'll even out when I quilt it. I am guilty of saying that. Okay. So there's my two little doves. Now, again, see? That's what you get with steamer seam. It doesn't come off. It'll stay there while I put the other bits on. Let me just get rid of those. And there'll be no dithering now. We know what we're doing for the next bit. So we'll get this bit. I do love this. It just reminds me of a few of my bits of blue china. I think that's what it is. Okay, wings, 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 wings. So it's up to you what you do with it. I will confess, if you don't buy anything tonight, you're not in a quilter's life, and you don't get the doves, hang tight. These doves are going to feature. Oh, that didn't go to plan, did it? These doves are going to feature a lot this year. Did you see that? I pulled it, and when I pulled it the wrong way, and the glue went off onto the wrong side. There we go. They are going to feature quite a bit, and what I was saying about the waist canvas earlier, kind of all happening together. I've got all these kind of little quirky plans going on to applique and stitch over toile, and I've got two different toile stories coming in to do that with. So and it's sort of one of the reasons we've really been building up a lot of fabrics and habby and everything for applique. I'm repeating myself now, but you haven't heard it yet, because at 9 o'clock tonight, very soon, or past it, I don't even know what the time is, you've got a newsletter coming out too. You're going to get hit from all directions. If you've been watching the shows, it's just pretty much going to resonate what we've been talking about on the live shows. But for there's a lot of people that don't do Facebook, so if it sounds like I'm repeating myself, it's because there's quite a few girls that don't, or they've missed it. It's got the details for Morwell there. Okay. So now I've got my little tip down here for the tip of my wing, and then I've got that little curve that sits across the body on that side, and then oh, that is cute. I think this was the go, girls, to put the, and gentlemen, sorry boys, I think that was definitely the go to put the dark colour over the top, because now I've got room, see, to bring in my little eyes over here, and that's going to pack a bit of punch, but also it's going to lend itself really well to evening out the colours when we come down and put the leaves and the hearts on. Now, these hearts need a decision, but we do know that we're going to use this for our little leaves or our hearts. Now I can't decide how many of these we've got to do. Let's do some in one and some in the other. These three, okay, 1, 2, 3, they're going there. Then we've got leaves out here, and we've got ones up here. Let's go these ones. I'm going to cut these because I've sort of drawn them straight off the design, so they're all going in different directions, but our pattern is all going straight, so I really need them like falling rain. So this point here, yeah, that's the right way up. I just wanted to make sure I had the pattern orientation right. I'm not going to worry too much about where it falls on the pattern. You could, if you wanted to, really take your time, and you could literally be fussy cutting little sections of a design. Naturally, I want to do these in Melba. And I might even use the big project panel to fussy cut all my sections from. That would be a lot of fun. If you watch, we were doing reverse applique in the club, and I realised that we could put our reverse applique butterflies over Melba, and then the girls lost me for a minute because there was a little bit of a revelation going on. Okay, so cut these. When I come to quilt this, I won't just go flat out with the default setting of the blanket stitch on my Bernina. I will turn it right down. If you are a Be Mindful Club member, you will know already that Michelle Hill has given you a lot of advice on what size blanket stitch to use, and a lot of it is quite small. It's down to sort of 1.5, 1 and 1.7, so most of the default settings on your machines are going to be anywhere from 2 to 2.4 length. Shrink it right down, take it down to about 1.5, and then the same for the actual width of the little spikes on your blanket stitch. Maybe do a couple of the smaller pieces of the design first on a test piece and just see how the scale works for you before you launch into this, because I can tell you right now, the default setting for blanket stitch on my Bernina is going to be too big for this. It needs to be a lot smaller so it all looks to scale. And the other thing, you're going to want to stabilize around the back. So as some of you have said, you haven't done a lot of this stuff before, I want to see you stabilize the back a couple of different ways. You can put a lightweight tearaway stabilizer on the back. You could pop an adhesive violin straight on. You could also just if you're happy to blanket stitch with your walking foot on, or if you've got dual feed, you could go straight to quilting at the same time. So you could put, say, a 630 Palin on, adhesive Palin, and be quilting and blanket stitch appliquing at the same time. Oh, okay. I think I went off the rails there just a little bit. There we are. Alright, so I'll give that a little twist, and that helps tear the paper. Peel it off. There we go. What do you think? Think it's going to be okay? I think I'm going to have to stay up and finish it. Alright, so I'm going to, what do you think? We've got, oh look, there's so many options here. Look at this. I could actually cut, oh, you know what? Let's do what let's do what the Japanese styling is. It's you just hit it, and it's where it falls in nature. I had to learn this a lot when we started using those big quilt gate and Kona Bay patterns, and I used to have a few say to me, I'd go, but you've got to be symmetrical, and it's got to be, and they go, no, you just, it's where it falls in nature. And you can see I'm even fighting it at the moment. How about if I just do that, just like that, and I am going to suck it up, and I'm going to take it where they fall. I might regret this terribly, but with all this symmetry going on, this might actually be a really nice idea. It could also be a complete disaster. Alright, let's have a look. Back to the blanket stitch as well. I'm sure a lot of you are way more experienced at blanket stitch applique than I am, but I'm thinking that, again, I would test a little bit first, because I think you're going to want to use one strand rather than two. Oh, I do. Yeah, okay. I'm going to set that one there, but I can peel him off again and we'll have a look. Now, with these little vines, you've also got some options. So if you, oh, it doesn't matter. You could easily do your blanket stitch on the machine or by hand, and then come back and still do the little vines by hand with a stem stitch or a back stitch. I'm sure my mates like Natalie Bird, Lynette Anderson, Carol Pam, all those girls would say back stitch. And if you wanted to do them on the machine, have a little bit of a play with your triple stitch. Fluked it so far. We'll see what happens with the last one. I bet you the last one throws it out. Let's have a look. More wool next week as well. Just going back to that. I'm really hoping, and I've put it in the newsletter. Yeah, just wing it, Kath. I put it in the newsletter for you. I am seriously hoping, maybe not as optimistically as I was now that we've been to Port Campbell and had 2 bars at 3G. Couldn't even get a phone call, let alone live stream. But I'm seriously hoping to be in there at the show in the morning chatting to you before the show opens. So the show opens at 9:30. I will get in there and sort it all out on Thursday, get it all set up and see how it looks. But I'm really, really hoping to live stream to you at about 9 o'clock each morning. Just have a sneak and look around the show and show you our stand and different specials and things each day. So I'll definitely be here with M on Tuesday. Alright, tell me what you think. So he's got lots, he doesn't have as much. So I'm going to peel that one off. Pop that one up there. I tell you what, even with the design drawn on, it is still super cool having that line drawn down through the middle that's not part of the design. It's just a good thing. Okay, pop him on. There we go. I'm just making sure I've got the right amount of gap between the hearts. There we go. I think that's okay. I'm going to leave that like those. Now, not going to take up too much more of your time, but just having a look forward. So this lovely thing, interestingly called Shimmer, but from Timeless Treasures, I think that I might use this for these leaves down here, and then I've got one up here. So for that one I will probably come back and do another one from this little leaf fabric. I think that would look nice. So I'll do that for one side, and then, as I said, I'm going to use some of the others for the other side, and then I am definitely going to make one of these with all the different bits and pieces out of it. So, and maybe a few for prezzies. I think that'd be quite nice for presents. I've also got in my studio, do you remember we've got those, the first Liberty charm pack that we did, and we've still got those, and I've got one of those tucked away with a whole bundle of half made of the English paper piecing Epiplex octagon shapes. So I'm thinking I might have a little bit of a play, and these will all mix, this colouring and stuff will all mix in with them. So I will we'll keep having a little bit of a play, but I'm definitely going to do one of those. So just, I hope, if you grab one of these tonight, or Cass will pop it up on Quilter's Life for you. I think we've got new girls. I think we've got new girls here tonight. Just in case you've heard me blabbering on, that's a Quilter's Life. So it's $10 a month, and we do free patterns and demos. cakes, blogs, healthy quilter and stuff on there. And if you join now, you will actually have access to everything that we've had in the club since it started. And coming up, there will be things that only run for a limited amount of time on a Quilter's Life as well. So you have to be in to actually get them, and then it will finish. Because everyone that's been in for so long have been so wonderful and so loyal and supportive. I think, you know, we need to be a little bit fairer on those. And there are specials and things too, like 10% at the moment. So this will, Cass will pop this up for me. If it's not going up tonight, it'll go up tomorrow morning. You've got it to play with. Have a think about what you can use it for. It doesn't, I'm going to iron these down. No, I'm not, am I? I will. You know why? Because I used a Frixion pen. It's all going to go. I'm going to do it. I can retrace. It's all gone. It's all gone. What could you use it for? Well, you can use it if you've got the book cover pattern. Beautiful on the front of an A4 book. You could just make a whole quilt of different coloured blocks with all your Liberty scraps for your doves and your leaves and everything. That would be really lovely. You could use it for the front of a tote bag. You know, our sashiko tote or something like that, where you've got a bag that's actually taller than it is wider. That's where sort of that proportion comes in. So that would be really sweet as well. It's a little bit more traditional, a little bit more cutesy, old-fashioned, but the blues, I just thought they just sang to doing something like that. So I will finish this. I will pop a photo of it up on Instagram, Facebook, and I will show it to you in its completion when it is done next week. Now, are you all right? Have I put you all to sleep? Well, Fiona, no, because you're a night shift worker. Yes, Jeanette, I can put it in the freezer and it will come back. Does everyone else know that? You can put your Frixion pen, anything with on it, in the freezer and it will come back, which is of benefit to us. But when they first came out and they were treated like this whole specialty pen, and you were paying a fortune for them and you couldn't buy them at Woolies and Officeworks and places like that, and we saw them first in America, they came with all these warnings because the company that was promoting them was from Wisconsin and the girls were leaving their stuff out in the car and they'd go out and all their pen had come back, or it was so cold in a couple of the quilt halls evidently in some location in Canada that the girls were all horrified because all their markings came back on their quilts that were on exhibition. But that just doesn't happen here. So if you do want it to come back, you just stick it in the freezer. The same weather as you would get in Wisconsin or anywhere else in America. Wisconsin, Robert did 12 weeks in Wisconsin, didn't you? Mm-hmm. Still haven't forgotten about it, like I did a month in northern Germany for work as well. Okay, well, sorry, Jane. Yes, brownie points to you. They would look nice in the panel on the gum leaf tote. They would. That's where I'm planning on putting the Borota as well from the Applique sampler. Fiona needs more reasons to use Frixion pens. Fee, they're just great. You just use them and they iron off. It's just super. Really good for applique and things. The same as the white ones. I love the white ones as well that iron off. Alright, I will keep thinking about reasons why you need to use a Frixion pen. When the boys got their hands on them, when they were little, they used to write swear words on my quilts and iron them off when I wasn't looking. Cindy, her Wi-Fi is very slow this week. Aww. Well, that's fine, Cindy, if you've been trying since 7, because we've only been here since 8, so you feel like you're 2 hours behind. But you're not, you're only an hour. I'm not meaning to be rude, I'm just stating a fact. It's fine. But if you have missed anything and you would like to know what you've missed, just email me at info@chandlerscottage.com. Give me a call tomorrow. I'm still having tragic problems with my phone here at home. We have very Mozzie, very bad reception down the end of the house. So I'm clocking up my steps because every time someone rings me, I have to walk 10 metres to the front of the house. But we seem to be missing messages and things as well. So if you need me, I know it sounds silly, but you'll get to me probably quicker by emailing me than sending me a message, because the phone stays here, whereas emails I get wherever I am. Bunnings. Any supermarket, anywhere else like that. All right. You all have a lovely rest of your evening, won't you? And I will see you next Tuesday morning. Sorry, Ruthie. Tuesday morning. Now, the reason is we have to start packing Tuesday afternoon for Morwell, or it's just not going to happen, because I have to go down Thursday and I want Em and Steve's help. So we made a pact. We did the pros and cons. We will be live at 10 a.m. on Tuesday morning. Takes me all day to get ready for 2 o'clock. I'm not quite sure how that's going to happen. But we're doing a morning show. If you miss it, it will be there for you to watch in the afternoon. And as soon as it's finished, Cass will upload it for you onto YouTube. So please, I'm so sorry if you've got stuff planned for Tuesday morning, but we must get Morwell right and get everything packed. And more importantly, of course, get all the orders up to date before we chuff off to do Morwell. So it'll be 10 a.m. and I will put that up as an event for you. You've got till 10 o'clock tomorrow morning to place a second order if you've got one in to combine. You've got a discount if you're in a Quilter's Life. You will get this little free pattern with your fabric if you order from tonight's show. That's all of it. And you'll go in the draw from Tuesday 2 p.m. till 10 o'clock tomorrow morning to win that special pack I've put down somewhere. Here it is. To win this little special pack as well, and we'll announce this next Tuesday. Tune in over the weekend, won't you? If you subscribe to the Lisa Chandler YouTube channel, hopefully you'll get a little ding on Sunday that there's a new little craft and cook to watch as well. So go. Have a lovely evening, and I will see you very soon. All right. Thank you. Bye.